Hello everyone, it's me Clayton. I just finished watching Pray for the Devil. Now, when it comes to exorcism in horror movies, it's certainly become a very popular subgenre within the horror-themed sphere. Heck, The Exorcist is one of the most well-known horror movies of all time, with one of the most well-known horror movie antagonists of all time in Reagan. So, theoretically, another demonic possession movie with today's strengths in visual effects and cinematography should allow for some more amazing scares, right? Well, in this case, that's not so much. Pray for the Devil is not only a bog standard possession movie that you've seen 100 times before, but its attempts to try something new end up hurting the film more than they actually help it. But let's get to the story, shall we? The story follows Sister Anne, played by Jacqueline Byers, who ended up with a mother who was demonically possessed and who ends up working alongside the Vatican when demonic possessions increase all around the world. Mainly so the story can have it the story still take place in America while having a school for exorcisms, which are only performed by the male priests. That is until Sister Anne decides to become an exorcist herself, and a priest played by Colin Salmon agrees to teach her. Only we don't see him do much in the way of teaching, and Sister Anne has to find out a way to exorcise a demon from a little girl who happens to have a closer connection to her than she initially thinks. Now, this does sound like a decent idea for a story, but the problem lies in execution. Not only in the fact that we don't really see Sister Anne learning that much about exorcism before managing to do so, but also the fact that it just feels like while the movie tries to go for a progressive edge, it actually seems to go more towards the pro-Catholic Church to a ridiculous degree, even pointing out the Inquisition and saying that it was a necessary evil, even though it was not necessary and it actually killed a bunch of people who didn't deserve to die in the process. Instead of directly confronting the awful realities of a church that ultimately killed people for reasons they didn't quite understand, it just ends up washing away a lot of the guilt so they can come across as the unequivocally good guys in the movie. On top of that, the demonic effects, which you theoretically you should be able to just watch some good scares, but the effects for the devils are ones that we've seen 1,000,000 times before. Them disappearing and reappearing randomly, them pulling back their eyes till all we see are white in their eyes, them speaking in different tones and different voice modulators. We've seen and heard this 1,000,000 times, and there's not really anything new that's added for us to really get invested in the scares. There's maybe one or two jump scares that legitimately almost startled me, but that's about it. On top of that, the other actors are really not given much to do outside of playing one-dimensional archetypes, and with a film that's only 93 minutes long, it's, not that long of a film, but it feels so much longer, mainly due to the fact that there are several scenes where it feels like nothing of import really happens. Almost like they had the bare bones for a story, but had to pad it out so it would reach a theatrical runtime. So yeah, if you thought Halloween Ends was a disappointing horror film, I think this is far worse. Pray for the Devil has almost nothing new to offer and nothing of interest to really make up for a premise that's been done before. And when you have almost nothing to offer to the audience, it leads to a pretty miserable experience. That's why Pray for the Devil gets a 2 out of 10. See you next time.